Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Krishna Chaitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jaya Pataka Swami Maharaj on December 1st, 2021 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Pangong langayate girim
Yaki Bhatavan Mande
Sri Gurum Dinasarinam
Paramananda Madhavam
Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram
Harihi Om Sat Sat.
Very good. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, today we will continue with the compilation of Sri Krishna Chaitanya book. Today's chapter is entitled Krishna forcibly gives shelter at his lotus feet to those who engage in his devotionals, in his service, but have other desires. 17 verse. Under the section, the process of devotional service. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.26.
ভক্তিবিহীন বর্ণাশ্রম ধর্ম পালনে নিরয় লাভ চারি বর্ণাশ্রমী যদি কৃষ্ণ নাহি ভজে সকর্ম করিতে সে রৌরবে পরি মজে.
The followers of Varnashram institution accept the regulative principles of the four social orders, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, and four spiritual orders, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. However, if one carries out the regulative principles of these orders but does not render transcendental service to Krishna, he falls into a hellish condition of material life. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. One may be a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, or one may perfectly follow the spiritual principles of Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa, but ultimately one falls down into a hellish condition unless one becomes a devotee. Without developing one's dormant Krishna consciousness, one cannot be factually elevated. The regulative principles of Varnashram Dharma in themselves are insufficient for attainment of the highest perfection. That is confirmed in the following two quotations from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.5.2-3. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.27.
দৈব বর্ণাশ্রম ধর্মের উৎপত্তি শ্রীমদ্ ভাগবতে 11:5-2-3.
Mukha Bahurupadebhya Purushasyasyashamaihi saha Chatvaro Jaknire Varna Gunair Vipradaya Pratak. From the mouth of Brahma, the Brahmanical order has come into existence. Similarly, from his arms, the Kshatriyas have come. From his waist, the Vaishyas have come. And from his legs, the Shudras have come. These four orders and their spiritual counterparts, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyas, combine to make human society complete. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.28.
ভক্তির প্রতিকূল দৈব বর্ণাশ্রমের নিরয় লাভ
Ya esham purusham shakshat atma prabhavam ishwaram na bhajantyavajananti sthanat prishtaha patantyadaha. If one simply maintains an official position in the four Varna and Ashramas but does not worship the Supreme Lord Vishnu, he falls down from his puffed up position into a hellish condition.
So just adhering to the Varnashram Dharma
So, just by adhering to the Varnashrama Dharma
without becoming a devotee is of no use.
is of no use.
Rather, one falls down into a hellish condition.
Rather, one falls down into a hellish condition.
So, the real purpose of Varnashram is one should offer all their work to Krishna.
The real purpose of Varnashram is that one should offer the fruits of their work to Krishna.
If they're not serving Krishna,
If they are not serving Krishna,
then they get no real fruit, they just get suffering.
they don't get real fruit but just suffering. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.29
শূন্য মুক্তি অভিমানী জ্ঞানীও সকল মনোধর্মী শুদ্ধ ভক্তই নির্মল আত্মধর্মী জ্ঞানী জীবন মুক্ত দশা পাইন করি মানে বস্তুত বুদ্ধি শুদ্ধ নহে কৃষ্ণ ভক্তি বিনে.
There are many philosophical speculators, jnanis belonging to the Mayavada school, who consider themselves liberated and call themselves Narayana. But their intelligence is not purified unless they engage in Krishna's devotional service.
And one thinks of their one with the Lord.
If one thinks that they are one with the Lord,
I think they are Narayana.
they think that they are Narayana.
Actually, because of their offensive mentality,
Actually, because of their offensive mentality,
they fall down.
they fall down. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.30
কৃষ্ণ ভক্তিবিহীন শুষ্ক জ্ঞানেরই অধোগতি লাভ. শ্রীমদ্ ভাগবতে 10:2-32.
Ye anne arvindaksha vimukta maninas tvayasta bhavat avishuddha buddhaya aruya krichena param padam tata patantyado anadrita yushmadangrayah. O lotus-eyed one, those who think they are liberated in this life but do not render devotional service to you must be of impure intelligence. Although they accept severe austerities and penances to rise to the spiritual position, to impersonal Brahman realization, they fall down again because they neglect to worship your lotus feet. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. This verse is quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.2.32.
Jnani rise up to the impersonal Brahman realization.
So the Jnanis, they rise up to the impersonal Brahman realization,
But if they don't worship the lotus feet of Krishna,
but they never worship the lotus feet of Krishna.
again they fall down into the material world.
Then again they fall down into the material world. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.31
কৃষ্ণ দর্শনে মায়া দর্শন নাই, মায়া দর্শনে কৃষ্ণ দর্শন নাই। কৃষ্ণ সূর্য সম মায়া হয় অন্ধকার, যাহা কৃষ্ণ তাহা নাই মায়ার অধিকার.
Krishna is compared to sunshine and Maya is compared to darkness. Wherever there is sunshine, there cannot be darkness. As soon as one takes to Krishna consciousness, the darkness of illusion, the influence of the external energy, will immediately vanish. Purport. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 2.9.34, it is stated, Vitirtam yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani tad vidyadatmano mayam yata basho yata tamaha. What appears to be truth without me is certainly my illusory energy, for nothing can exist without me. It is like a reflection of a real light in shadows, for in the light there are neither shadows nor reflections. Wherever there is light, there cannot be darkness. When a living entity becomes Krishna conscious, he is immediately relieved of all material lusty desires. Lusty desires and greed are associated with rajas and tamas, passion and darkness. When one becomes Krishna conscious, the modes of passion and darkness immediately vanish, and then the mode of goodness, sattva guna, remains. When one is situated in the mode of goodness, he can make spiritual advancement and understand things clearly. This position is not possible for everyone. When a person is Krishna conscious, he continuously hears about Krishna, thinks about him, worships him, and serves him as a devotee. If he remains in Krishna consciousness in this way, the darkness of Maya certainly will not be able to touch him.
It's recommended that one should be eternally in the service of Krishna.
So that's why it is recommended that one should be eternally in the service of Krishna.
If they're not serving Krishna,
If they are not serving Krishna,
they'll end up serving Maya.
they will end up serving Maya.
And thus, they will not be satisfied.
And thus, they will not be satisfied.
By worshiping Krishna, one is spiritually blissful.
By worshipping Krishna, one is spiritually blissful. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 22.32.
মায়া যেটি স্বীয় প্রভুর সম্মুখে থাকিতে লজ্জিতা, আবার প্রভু বিমুখজনকে বিবর্ত বুদ্ধি দিয়া কারাবদ্ধকারিণী।
Vilajyamanaya yasya statum miksha pate muya vimohita vikatante mamaham iti durdiyaha. External illusory energy of Krishna, known as Maya, is always ashamed to stand in front of Krishna, just as darkness is ashamed to remain before the sunshine. However, that Maya bewilders unfortunate people who have no intelligence. Thus, they simply boast that this material world is theirs and that they are its enjoyers. The entire world is bewildered because people are thinking, this is my land, America is mine, India is mine. Not knowing the real value of life, people think that the material body and the land where it is produced are all in all. This is the basic principle behind nationalism, socialism, and communism. Such thinking, which simply bewilders the living being, is nothing but rascalism. It is due to the darkness of Maya. But as soon as one becomes Krishna conscious, he is immediately relieved from such misconception. This verse is quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam 2.5.13. There is also another appropriate verse in Srimad Bhagavatam 2.7.47. What is realized as the absolute Brahman is full of unlimited bliss without grief. That is certainly the ultimate phase of the Supreme Enjoyer, the personality of Godhead. He is eternally devoid of all disturbances, fearless, completely conscious as opposed to matter, uncontaminated and without distinctions. He is the principal, primeval cause of all causes and effects, in whom there is no sacrifice for fruitive activities, and in whom the illusory energy does not stand. This verse was spoken by Lord Brahma when he was questioned by the great sage Narada. Narada was surprised to see the creator of the universe meditating, for this indicated there might be someone greater than Lord Brahma. While answering the great sage Narada, Lord Brahma described the position of Maya and the bewildered living entities. This verse was spoken in that connection.
Although Lord Brahma does the secondary creation,
Although Lord Brahma does the secondary creation,
one sees him as the creator.
and one sees him as the creator,
He actually receives the empowerment, ability to create from Krishna and his disciples.
so Actually, he received the empowerment to get the ability to create from Krishna and his expansions. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.33
আত্মনিবেদনকারী সম্বন্ধ জ্ঞানলব্ধ সাধকের অনর্থ নিবৃত্তি। কৃষ্ণ তোমার হও যদি বলে একবার, মায়া বন্ধ হইতে কৃষ্ণ তারে করে পার।
One is immediately freed from the clutches of Maya if he seriously and sincerely says, "My dear Lord Krishna, although I have forgotten you for so many long years in the material world, today I am surrendering unto you. I am your sincere and serious servant. Please engage me in your service."
And one says this simple prayer to Krishna,
If one says this simple prayer to Krishna,
Krishna will certainly help him
Krishna will certainly help him
and free him from the clutches of Maya.
and free him from the clutches of Maya. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.34
পরম দয়ালু কৃষ্ণের আশ্বাসবাণী হরিভক্তি বিলাসে 11:337 ধৃত শ্লোক, রামায়ণে লঙ্কাকাণ্ডে 18:33 বিভীষণ সহ মিলন সম্বন্ধে সুগ্রীবের প্রতি শ্রী রামচন্দ্র বচন।
Sakrutevo prapanno yas tavasmiti cha yachate abhayam sarvada tasmai dadamyetat vratam mama. It is my vow that if only one seriously surrender unto me, saying, "My dear Lord, from this day I am yours, and praise to me for courage," I shall immediately award courage to that person, and he will always remain safe from that time on. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. This verse from Ramayana Yuddha Kanda 18.33 was spoken by Lord Ramachandra.
So we should surrender to Krishna or his expansion
So we should surrender to Krishna or his expansions,
and he lost the courage to cross over this illusory energy.
and he gives us the courage to cross over the illusory material energy,
And we will be safe
and we will be saved
by his mercy.
by his mercy. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.35
সকাম অশান্ত পুরুষের নিরন্তর ভজন ফলে শান্তি লাভ। বিমুক্তি সিদ্ধিকামী সুবুদ্ধি যদি হয়, গাঢ় ভক্তি যোগে তবে কৃষ্ণেরে ভজন।
Due to bad association, the living entity desires material happiness, liberation, or merging into the impersonal aspect of the Lord, or he engages in mystic yoga for material power. If such a person actually becomes intelligent, he takes to Krishna consciousness by engaging himself in intense devotional service to Lord Sri Krishna.
In the material world, there are lots of bad associations.
In the material world, there are lots of bad association.
One may think that they'll be happy by material sense gratification,
One may think that they will be happy by material sense gratification,
or they think by liberation into the impersonal Brahman they'll be happy.
or they think that by liberation into the impersonal Brahman that they will be happy,
Or that they'll be happy if they have mystic powers.
or that they will be happy if they have mystic powers.
But actually, the only way you can really be happy
Actually, the only way you can be really happy
is by surrendering to Krishna.
is by surrendering unto Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.36
বুদ্ধিমান মাত্রেরই কৃষ্ণ ভজন বিধেয়। শ্রীমদ্ ভাগবতে 2:3-10।
Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udharadihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Whether one desires everything or nothing, or whether he desires to merge into the existence of the Lord is intelligent only if we worship Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by rendering transcendental loving service. Purport: this is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 2.3.10.
So, if one renders pure devotional service
So if one renders pure devotional service
to the Lord, then that person can get the ultimate blessing.
then that person can get the ultimate blessings. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.37.
কৃষ্ণের অহেতুকী দয়ার পরিচয়। অন্যকামী যদি করে কৃষ্ণের ভজন, না মাগিল কৃষ্ণ তারে দেন সচরণ।
If those who desire material enjoyment or merging into the existence of the Absolute Truth engage in the Lord's transcendental loving service, they will immediately attain shelter at Krishna's lotus feet, although they did not ask for it. Krishna is therefore very merciful.
Although one may have other ulterior desires,
Although one may have other ulterior desires,
if they render devotional service,
if they render devotional service,
the Lord will fix them up
the Lord will fix them up
at the lotus feet,
at His lotus feet,
and they will transcend all these temporary desires
and they will transcend all these temporary desires
by the mercy of Lord Krishna.
by the mercy of Lord Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.38.
কৃষ্ণ কহে আমা ভজে মাগে বিষয় সুখ, অমৃত ছাড়ি বিষ মাগে এই বড় মোর।
Krishna says, if one engages in my transcendental loving service, but at the same time wants the opulence of material enjoyment, he is very, very foolish. Indeed, he is just like a person who gives up ambrosia to drink poison.
Worshipping Krishna, one can get the eternal mercy of the Lord.
By worshipping Krishna, one can get the eternal mercy of the Lord.
If instead one wants something temporary and transient by nature,
Instead, if one wants something temporary which is transient by nature,
they are less intelligent or foolish.
they are less intelligent or foolish. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.39.
আমি বিজ্ঞ এই মূর্খে বিষয় কেনে দিব, সচরণামৃত দিয়া বিষয় ভুলাইব।
Since I am very intelligent, why should I give this full material prosperity? Instead, I shall induce him to take the nectar of the shelter of my lotus feet and make him forget illusory material enjoyment. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Those who are interested in material enjoyment are known as Bhukti Kami. One who is interested in merging into the effulgence of Brahman or perfecting the mystic yoga system is not a devotee at all. Devotees do not have such desires. However, if a karmi, jnani, or yogi somehow contacts a devotee and renders devotional service, Krishna immediately awards him love of God and gives him shelter at his lotus feet. Although he may have no idea how to develop love of Krishna, if a person wants material profit from devotional service, Krishna condemns such material desires. To desire material opulence while engaging in devotional service is foolish. Although the person may be foolish, Krishna, being all intelligent, engages him in his devotional service in such a way that he gradually forgets material opulence. The point is that we should not try to exchange loving service for material prosperity. If we are actually surrendered to the lotus feet of Krishna, our only desire should be to satisfy Krishna. That is pure Krishna consciousness. Surrender means not that we demand something from the Lord, but that we completely depend on His mercy. If Krishna likes, He may keep His devotee in a poverty-stricken condition. Or, if He likes, He may keep him in an opulent position. The devotee should not be concerned in either case. He should simply be very serious about trying to satisfy the Lord by rendering Him service.
Some materialistic people worship demigods
Some materialistic people worship demigods
to get some material opulence.
to get some material opulence.
But if they worship Krishna,
But if they worship Krishna,
why should he give them something illusory or temporary?
why should He give them something illusory or temporary?
He gives them something eternal and
He,
spiritual.
he would give them something eternal and spiritual. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.40
সকাম উপাসকেরও কৃষ্ণ কৃপায় শুদ্ধ ভক্তি কামনা বা নিষ্কামতা। শ্রীমদ্ ভাগবতে 5:19-26।
Satyam ti sat artitam artito nranam naivartado yat punar artita yataha swayam vidhatte vajatam anicchatam iccha pidhanam nijapada pallavam. Whenever Krishna is requested to fulfill one's desire, he undoubtedly does so, but he does not to avoid anything which, after being enjoyed, will cause one to petition him again and again to fulfill further desire. When one has other desires but engages in the Lord's service, Krishna forcibly gives one shelter at his lotus feet, where one will forget all other desires. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 5.19.27.
So one worships Krishna,
If one worships Krishna,
he or she gets the mercy to transcend all the material things.
he or she gets the mercy to transcend all the material things.
And in that transcendental shelter of Krishna,
And in that transcendental shelter of Krishna,
a devotee is fully satisfied
the devotee is fully satisfied
by material things.
by material things.
When they ask for one benediction,
One may ask for one benediction,
and they receive that, they want more
and they receive that they want more
and more.
and more.
So instead, Krishna
Instead, Krishna
gives them
gives them
transcendental bliss,
transcendental bliss,
loving service, which fully satisfies them.
loving service which fully satisfy him. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.41
কোনো কোনো সক্ষম উপাসকেরও শুদ্ধ ভক্তির অসৎ কামনা থাকিলেও নিরন্তর সেবানন্দ প্রভাবে ঐরূপ অভদ্র নাশ হয়, তা হইল সকাম ভাব নিষ্কাম ভাবের কারণ নহে। কাম লাগি কৃষ্ণে ভজে পাই কৃষ্ণ রসে, কাম ছাড়ি দাস হইতে হয় অভিলাষে।
When someone engages in Lord Krishna's devotional service for the satisfaction of the senses and instead acquires a taste for serving Krishna, he gives up his material desires and willingly offers himself as an eternal servant of Krishna.
Since Lord Krishna is so intelligent
Since Lord Krishna is so intelligent
that if a person engages in devotional service,
if a person engages in devotional service,
then Krishna will give him transcendental attachment
then Krishna will give him transcendental attachment
to his devotional service.
to his devotional service.
Then I'll lose interest in the temporary material things.
Then he will lose his taste for temporary material enjoyment. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 22.42.
সকাম ধ্রুবের শ্রী হরিদর্শনে প্রার্থনা হরিভক্তি শুভোদয় ধ্রুব চরিত 7:28
Sthana bilashi tapasi stitoham tvam praptavan deva munindra bhuyam kacham vichinvannapi divya ratnam swamin kritartosmi varam na yache. When he was being blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruva Maharaja said, "My Lord, because I was seeking an opulent material position, I was performing severe types of penance and austerity. Now I have gotten you, who are very difficult for the great demigods, saintly persons, and kings to attain. I was searching after a piece of glass, but instead I have found a most valuable jewel. Therefore I am so satisfied that I do not wish to ask any benediction from you." Purport: this is a verse from Hari Bhakti Sudodaya 7.28.
Dhruva Maharaj, he realized that having attained Krishna, this is much more valuable
So Dhruva Maharaj here realized that having attained Krishna, this was much more valuable
than anything he had desired previously.
than anything that he had desired previously.
He was very grateful, and his desires were completely satisfied.
And he was very grateful and his desires were completely satisfied. Thus ends the chapter entitled Krishna forcibly gives shelter at his lotus feet to those who engage in his service but have other desires. Under the section, the process of devotional service.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.